Well, hello again. I suppose you're wondering what this TV is. Does it look vaguely familiar to anyone at all? Well, it is the Telerad. The Telerad Model 35. It's finally back in its cabinet, all back together and working really well. I have to say I'm actually quite relieved this project has pretty much come to an end. It definitely took me a lot longer than what I sort of originally planned. I thought, I'll probably have done in sort of, probably 2 or 3 months sort of thing, but no, sort of 6-7 months down the track. But that's cool. I mean, you sort of, these things always happen. You can't really predict exactly when you're going to get projects like this done. It just doesn't happen in reality. So yeah, but no, I'm pretty pleased all back together, and I've been running over the sort of past few nights, and it's actually performing quite well. So I thought it was time to do another sort of final video on the thing before I move on to other projects, I suppose. Now, I haven't really shown much detail even when we talked about the cabinet, so here it is. It's the cabinet is actually in remarkably good condition, considering it came out of his house and the room it was in had a leak in the roof, like quite a bad one. So no borer, thank goodness. But yeah, it's actually in very nice condition indeed. I quite like too the nice big thick bit of safety glass. That glass must be, glass must be at least probably in half an inch thick, possibly, because it seems pretty thick glass. So for good visual, it gives a good visual effect, and also for safety reasons as well. Not that it needs it, the fact that it's got a bonded CRT, but I guess Alan was, quite thorough in regards to these things. Let's move around the side here. Sorry about the lighting. It's a lovely camera with its poor lighting conditions. We won't go there. A few swear words have been muttered about this camera on various occasions when I've done a video and sort of played it back and sort of, oh okay, the picture's quite crap, so I have to go back and redo it. So yeah, but it's not too bad on that side. And of course there's the top there for you as well. So it's all good there. Alright, I will swing the chassis, I'll swing the cabinet around, sorry, and show you what it's like on the inside. Just unplug the air oil first. There we go. Okay, right. It's not light either. Heavy old beast. And here we go. And there's definitely a size you've all seen before, is that chassis. So I don't really need to cover much there. It's all back in nicely. There's a tuner up there, and the controls as well. I left those old sort of notes that he put there. I left those there for prosperity. I've still got to mount the chassis back in properly. I've still got to put some screws in there and some screws around this piece here to make that flush for the front. But just for now, while I'm running the thing, I'll just leave them out, just to be on the safe side. And down here we've got the speaker. There's your roller 12UX speaker with an Apple transformer and everything all wired back in place, and no, it sounds actually pretty good. It's actually missing its back cover, so I actually might make something up at some stage and just to close it off to get a bit, to make it a bit more original. Yeah, it won't be too hard to do. Oh, and by the way, there was about 3 inches of dust and fluff and mouse pop and all sorts, and he had to vacuum out too. It was pretty gross inside here. But yeah, so alright, well what I'll do, I'll swing it back around and show you it going. I'll just plug the ear along. Wait 1 second. Okay, right, here we go. Turn that light off. Making all the right noises. Pretty soon we should see a silly DVD video thing bouncing around the screen. The quality Chinese made DVD player screensaver. For when you're really bored and insomniac and you can't sleep, watch that. For those who really want to be entertained by poor quality graphics. Okay, here we go.
The semi-final of episode 3 of Kierkegaard's Journals, starring Richard Chamberlain, Peggy
Just turn this light off here.
BBC One, Ethel the Frog.
Good evening. On Ethel the Frog tonight.
I love these guys, Monty Python. For them, it's so funny.
Tuesday, a reign of terror was ended when the notorious Piranha brothers, Doug and Dinsdale, after one of the most extraordinary trials in British legal history, were sentenced to 400 years imprisonment for crimes of violence. Tonight, Ethel the Frog.
The very young John Cleese there.
The power of the Piranhas, the methods they used to subjugate rival gangs, and their subsequent tracking down and capture by the brilliant Superintendent Harry Snapper Organs of Q Division. Doug and Dinsdale were born on probation.
The actual camera, of course, doesn't do the picture justice really, but
Their father, Arthur Piranha, a scrap metal dealer and TV quizmaster, was well known to the police and a devout Catholic. In January 1928, he had married Kitty Malone, an up-and-coming East End boxer.
Doug was born in February 1929 and Dinsdale 2 weeks later, and again a week after that. Their next-door neighbour was Mrs. April Simmons.
so yeah, no, it's going pretty well actually. I'm quite impressed with it. A very, very unique set, and like I said, the only one left in existence. I doubt there'd be any more of these TVs left. Considering he probably didn't make many of them anyway, so.
His mother used to have such trouble getting him to come in for his tea. He'd be out there, putting his little boot in, you know, bless him. But you know, kids were very different then. They didn't have their heads filled with all this Cartesian dualism.
At the age of 15, Doug and Dinsdale started attending the Ernest Pythagoras Primary School in Cardiff.
You taught the Piranha brothers English. What do you remember most about them?
Now, I was digging through, turn it down for a second, I was digging through some old papers of Alan's, and I come across something which I think's a real gem indeed. What I have here, so I only just found this pretty much tonight. I had a feeling that I had it lying around somewhere. What I've got is the original invoice from when he brought all the parts to make these TVs. For example, 24 AW5990 24-inch picture tubes, AT100902 deflection yokes, AT2021/21 line output transformers, AT3507 frame output transformers. All these parts are in this. All of them. So that probably would actually give you an indication on I'm just not too sure about what's going on with this camera here. I'm getting, sorry about this guys, I'm getting some annoying sort of washout bits here. It looks like handy viewfinder now, so yeah, so I have, this is the only documentation I've got, and the date 21st of the 12th 1960, so that pretty much dates the TV to be early 60s. Not sure how long he took to make these things, but knowing Alan, he probably would have got underway fairly smartly, knowing him. Yeah, from EDAC. The company's no longer in existence. I don't think, well, the electronic development applications isn't. I mean, the company itself and launch it's long gone, but yeah, and what else is in here? Oh, yeah, some of the VDR. There are VDRs in there. 23-inch picture tube mask. That'd be the probably the mast that goes around the outside of the tube, basically to clamp it in place. I guess that's probably what that would be. Yeah, no, so this here really is a bit of history. It really is a bit of history, this thing. It's quite tickled pink to when I found this originally, because I knew that that would probably relate back to, you know, the second question. So it dates it, and yeah. Now what he's written down here too. These must look like all the, from what I've sort of deduced, all the pellets of picture tubes. They must have obviously come on boxes as well, or whatever. And these are the picture tube serial numbers on here. And would you believe it? 4613 is that CRT. That's the serial number to that picture tube. It's actually obviously been accounted for. It's got OK there. So yeah, no, quite a hard case actually. Quite a hard case indeed. I'll spin this thing around. You'll see that same number. There we go. 4613. So yeah. And there's the yoke, same number on the yoke, and the same number on the tuner, all relate back to that invoice. So it's probably the closest documentation and reference I'm probably going to get to the set, because no doubt he would have probably drawn up circuits on bits of paper, but yeah, obviously those bits of paper are long gone, so... Yeah, there it is there, 4613. A bit of history really. I think I should actually, what I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to print off all the documentation of this TV, all my notes and bits and pieces that I made, and actually I'm going to put them all in an envelope and actually tuck it inside the set, actually in the back there, for prosperity reasons. So yeah, so if I want to actually reference back to it for anything, I can pretty much lay my hands on everything. So yep, and there you have it. The Telerad Model 35 is complete, so I can pretty much say that this project is pretty much done. Alright, well, I guess I'll end it here, and yeah, thanks for watching or following the restoration project. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, it's quite nice to bring a really reset back to life. And I'm not too sure what I'll probably continue on with. I probably might actually continue on with this Murphy TV. This is one I featured in some of the recent videos up on YouTube. But I've got several. I've got other things which need to be finished off for now. So I might concentrate and get a few other bits and pieces out of the way before I start on any more TVs. So yeah, great stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.